Society has rules. It decides where you belong and what you're worth.
Skull and Bones, an upcoming multiplayer action-adventure pirate game developed by Ubisoft, the company that brought us pirate-themed games like Assassin's Creed Black Flags and Assassin's Creed Rogue. What's the story? How does it play? We'll get into that today.
Even when death seems a certainty, do not give up.
The story. Skull and Bones is not a narrative-driven game, but rather one that is written by you, the player, with your own adventures of pirating, looting, and killing. Even though you'll meet NPCs called Kingpins who will have their own stories that you'll learn as you develop your relationship with them by taking on contracts. There will be an underlying story that the entire world of Skull and Bones will be built on, but it is not the main focus. The game sets itself during the golden age of piracy, somewhere between the 1650s to the 1730s, where maritime piracy was a significant issue around the world. The open world that you'll be exploring is inspired by the Indian Ocean, torn between power, riches, and blood, at the mercy of powerful corporations. Corporation fleets traded and exported valuable exotic goods to the west. In a violent race to control rare resources, the pirates showed no mercy. You play as a pirate on the rise, starting out as a lowly outcast whose focus is to gain infamy and hunting for resources to build the ultimate pirate ship, go out into the open seas on various adventures, prevail against dangerous storms, and battle with other AI and human-controlled pirate crews and their ships, to become the next kingpin of the seas.
You decide where you belong and what you're worth.
The gameplay. Skull and Bones is designed to make you feel like a deadly pirate captain, commandeering your own ship and your crew of misfit vagrants. You have control over all of the ship's functions from navigation to combat and crew management, similarly to Black Flags, but with more experience behind its development. There are 3 types of ships that you can commandeer. These are navigation, firepower, and cargo. Each ship has its own proficiencies and perks. Ultimately, you want to put together a fleet that can take on a variety of situations that you may find yourself in, or for the various contracts that you take on. Navigation ships are fast ships and will be great to move across long distances within a short amount of time. Cargo ships will allow you to carry the most items for when you're out looking for precious loot and resources for crafting, while the firepower ships are ideal for combat situations. There will be 12 ships available and you can customize them to suit your preferred playstyle. You will not only need to look after the condition of your ship, but also your crew. Crew's morale will be one of the systems that you'll need to look after. A crew that is hungry and unhappy can call for a mutiny. Outposts are safe havens for pirates, where you can take on various contracts and trade with merchants for rare illegal goods or upgrades. You can even see other players walking around, living a pirate's life. You can choose to play Skull and Bones co-op with 2 friends and sail the open seas in a group. Outposts also feature treasures that you can find if you have a treasure map, leading you to stowed away loot. Their various contracts can reward you with different loot and granting you more infamy. By getting more infamy, you'll have access to better rewards and upgrades. You do not have to take on contracts alone, as you can invite other pirates in the area to join you on various contracts. To prepare for your next contract, you start by picking a ship based on the 3 ship types. You'll then need to ensure that your ship is kitted out with enough resources like ammo and food, different weapons for your ship, armor and perks, also known as furniture in this game. There's a whole heap of different weapons that you can install into your ship. This range from your standard cannon, mortars, flamethrowers, to crazy things like rockets. Your armor that you equip onto your ship will also have different characteristics. Some materials for armor are leather, metal, terracotta, among others. Furnitures, on the other hand, act as sort of perks that you can equip onto your ship. And this could be upgrades to your repair kits to make them last longer, or ship health upgrades, or even increasing your cargo limit. While kitting out your ship, you need to keep watch and make sure that your cargo limit is kept within a reasonable amount, as a heavy ship will slow you down. If you're sick and tired of sailing a big ass ship around, you can always hop into your hunter boats. These boats are small and they are used to hunt various marine life, to keep their meat and skin intact. Shooting these wildlife with your big ass ships will simply erase them off the planet. Some missions that you'll be undertaking will involve plundering for specific resources from hostile territories. Plundering, you'll see your crew disembark out of your ship onto the ground to plunder a fort or settlement, while you remain on the ship to defend them from enemy ships and defense towers, trying to interrupt their plunder. This starts a countdown timer, and while this timer is going, enemy ships will try to sink you. Your plunderers will store all of their loot in a barge, which you can come back to collect whenever you want. The more time you give your barge to fill up with loot, the more loot you'll obtain. While defending yourself and your crew from AI enemy ships, you may have other players coming around to either help you with plundering, or they could choose to be a total dick to you and try to sink you too. This creates a dynamic flow to your experience where there's truly everybody for themselves in the sea. Some may even assist you in gathering the loot before deciding to sink you themselves to steal from you. While blasting down enemy ships with various weapons, you can also brace against attacks, which will deal minimal damage to your ships. This makes bracing at the right moment crucial to avoid sustaining much damage from attacks. Once an enemy ship is weakened, you can choose to board their ship to loot and sink their ship, or to simply wipe them out of existence without ever boarding them. If you choose to board them, you will naturally gain more loot as the loot will be intact. This act of boarding will simply play out in a cutscene and will not see you directly involved with sword fighting on the enemy ship. Over time, all of that plundering will build notoriety, and with high notoriety, you will be attacked if you sail into hostile territory. Your compass will simply turn red, letting you know that you are treated as a hostile ship, and you should either choose to sail away or attack first. You can pay a fixer to lower this if you have the goal to do so. While sailing, you can play sea shanties that your crew will sing, collect various resources, and explore the vast open seas, visiting various islands from Africa all the way through to the East Indies. You can craft resources like stronger ships, armor, and weapons by first obtaining the blueprints and then getting the right materials to craft them. Oh yes, you can also have a pet next to you as you sail, and these could be cats, lemurs, among others. You'll also have access to a spyglass which you can use to scout ahead, looking out for enemy ships, outposts, settlements, and forts to assess your current situation and decide on what you should do. As an example, you may spot a merchant ship from far away, only to realize that it is being guarded by warships that may be a bit too much for you to handle with your current setup. Weather is dynamic, and storms can cause rogue waves to hit your ship. If your ship is destroyed by the rogue wave, or even by getting destroyed by other players or enemy ships, you will drop most of your cargo where you sunk. You will then respawn and have the opportunity to recover your cargo, unless another player has taken it from you. Even though Skull and Bones has been touted as a multiplayer game, you can take on the world's challenges solo if you want to, albeit in lonelier waters, filled with AI pirate hunting and NPC quests. There is no single player campaign at the moment as Ubisoft wants you to create your own adventure. You'll also have access to your own pirate lair to hang up your smelly boots and relax. Your pirate lair will be your very own hideout and secret stash away from the world, giving you some time out of killing and looting. Skull and Bones also supports crossplay, so you can blow somebody else's ship up even if you're on different platforms.
This one is not gonna last very long.
Alright, we got our first loot track point. We're still going at it over there.
First impressions. I first played Naval Ship Battles by Ubisoft in Assassin's Creed 3 and always felt like I wanted more. Thankfully, Assassin's Creed Black Flags and Rogue really scratched that itch, and I spent hours just sailing the open seas, destroying enemy ships, looting, and upgrading my ship to be as powerful as possible, even when I didn't need to. It was that fun. However, because it was a single player experience, it did start to feel all the same in the end. So if Ubisoft making this game a multiplayer experience, this game will be awesome. I just hope that it doesn't get too monotonous or samey in the end. With information that we have so far, it just seems like a flurry of missions to complete. As much as it is cool that Ubisoft wants you to create your own adventure, it may be giving the players too much freedom to decide what they should do next. Some may love it, but other players like myself would love to be guided as to what to do next with an end goal. Maybe that's why I'm not that into multiplayer FPS games with no end in sight, and why I love games like Dark Souls. I can see how trying out various attachments and upgrading your ship can be very addictive, but the question is, what happens once you reach the point where upgrading any further is no longer possible? Knowing some players, they'll grind their way to the top in a short amount of time, but what happens after? Maybe Ubisoft will release more maps to explore, more ships to obtain, or even missions that require you to party up with other players to succeed over the next few years. Similar to Elder Scrolls Online.
Brace.
I want to finish burning this one.
I got it. I think I...
Gird your loins.
Skull and Bones looks to be an awesome game for you to live out your fantasy of being a pirate kingpin, and especially if you've played games like Black Flag and Rogue and want more pirating. This game releases on the 9th of March 2023 for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Hopefully there aren't any more delays. So what do you think about Skull and Bones? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.